Good afternoon, all of you. Today, in this video, I'm going to talk about the internal security. What is this internal security? Now, let us see what is this all about. National security, as I have written here in a board, it might not be visible, but just for the sake of understanding, I'm writing this short term. The national security, not the full definition. I will dictate to you all the definition through word. Maybe you will understand in a better way rather than this blackboard. Only just for the reference, the topic I'm writing here. Now let us see what is this. National security, as understood as the ability of a nation to protect the welfare of a nation from a multitude threat. Uh, these threats endanger a geographical, economic, political, and socio-cultural interest of a nation. Further, security of a nation is not restricted to only protecting territorial boundary, but also ensuring a peaceful, non-discriminatory, technically sound, and progressive society with a good quality of life. National security could be broadly divided into two. First one is a external security, second one is a internal security. While the external security deal with external aggression by a foreign country. Internal security, on other hand, is a more dynamic as it deals with threat from both state and violent non-state actors. In addition, natural calamities that endanger a national interest is also a part of the internal security. In Indian context, successionist movement in the northeast and Jammu and Kashmir, left-wing extremism movement, terrorist attack by a foreign and a homegrown terrorist, infiltration, illegal migration, trafficking of a arm, narcotic, breaching its international border. Excuse me. Yes, now let us proceed further to this. Yeah, we are here. Yeah, country international border are amongst the most significant challenges to Indian internal security. Moreover, maintaining law and order is also a salient feature of internal security. Thus, it could be said that internal security is a one aspect which is perhaps of a even greater importance than external security. This is primarily because in contemporary times, destabilizing a nation is easier by creating an internal security crisis rather than by engineering an external invasion. Therefore, internal security has to be carefully taken care on all fronts, whether it is a cross-border terrorism, cyber terrorism, or organized crime. Internal security concern cannot be ignored at any cost. Now, let us see the meaning and scope for this internal security. Internal security is a very broad theme which can cover everything with threat to affect the lives and properties of the citizen of a country. It could range from law and order problem to expect like environmental security to energy security and economic security. The Ministry of Home Affairs under a Government of India is a nodal agency which handles matters related to internal security. The Ministry of Home Affairs continuously monitors the internal security situation, issues appropriate advisory, shares intelligence input, extend manpower and financial support and guidance and expertise to the state government for maintenance of security, peace, and harmony without infringing upon the constitutional right of the state. The main area which are supervised by the MHA, that is the Ministry of Home Affairs, are as follow. Now we will see this terrorism and counter-radicalization issue. A large portion of territory of India is affected by terrorism and insurgency. This include particularly the area of the state of Jammu and Kashmir and that of the northeastern state. There is a whole gamut of issue involved in a matter which includes a devising the response of the government to the various crisis situation cropping up time and again, then a role extent of the involvement of an army in managing, controlling the situation in these areas are issues which require the involvement of dedicated division of MHA in the matter. We see the left-wing extremism, that is the LWE. The left-wing extremism was named as the single biggest threat to internal security of a country by the ex-PM Manmohan Singh. Indeed, the extent of penetration which the left-wing extremism ideology has in a country and the extensive presence which the Naxals enjoy throughout the region of a red corridor is really a cause for concern. There is an urgent need to curb the military capacity of the Naxals to force them to come for a meaningful dialogue with the government. Now we will see the maintenance of law and order, an organized crime related issue. Police and public order are a state subject. However, the MHA, the Ministry of Home Affairs, has from time to time advised the state government to give more focused attention to improving the administration of the criminal justice system with a view to ensure effective prevention and control of all crimes with emphasis on mitigating a crime against the vulnerable section of a society such as the SC, ST, women, children, and older person. Though a law and order maintenance is a state subject, yet in a contemporary atmosphere, law and order is not something which can be managed in isolation by the state. There are issues like organized crime, communalism, Naxalism, and the role of non-state actor like a multinational organization and a domestic NGO in supporting and funding the perpetrators of this crime, which have an interstate dimension, cannot be effectively tackled without the involvement of the center. The center which brings in necessary the intelligence input, the skill and expertise to deal with such aspect of a crime which are much more than merely a law and order problem, but have to be tackled by the police machinery, since it is primarily the police which have to deal with such actor. This topic also has the aspect of a police reform built into it. Excuse me, I will drink water. Now we will look this a border management, how this border management happen. See, the protecting the land and sea border of a country from element having an interest hostile to the country, while maintaining a smooth and uninterrupted flow of a trade and commerce, as well as taking initiatives for the development of border area, both to strengthen the border security as well as creating an atmosphere of peace and a goodwill, is the responsibility entrusted to the border management devising of the MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs. We will see now the cyber crime and cyber information security. With the increase of the penetration of the computer and internet in our information management system, the need to protect our data and our information system have acquired utmost importance. The contemporary age, when it is becoming more and more difficult to challenge the power of the state through conventional warfare and militant activities, the cyber terrorism is increasingly being used by such hostile element to make a statement and wreak extensive damage without compromising our lives and using ammunitions. Therefore, there is need for dedicated division in the MHA to address this aspect of internal security. Now we will see the next topic, that is disaster management. Disaster, both man-made, drought or epidemic, as well as natural, earthquake, tsunami, etc., have caused extensive damage to a life and a properties, and are therefore seen as a potent threat to the internal security. In fact, the damage caused by some of the disaster like the 2004 tsunami was so severe that it is still evokes a horror in the memories of a people. This has become a particularly more important in a view of increasing a global environmental concern, wherein the danger of such disaster is becoming more and more pronounced. Therefore, the need to constitute a systematic disaster management plan was realized, which could cater to the need of the farming disaster policy, disaster response, capacity building, prevention, mitigation, long-term rehabilitation. Thus, a separate division was set up in the MHA for this matter. Now we will see the foreign immigration. In order to control the influx of the individual which are either hostile to the country or have a capacity to create a fundamental problem related to internal security, there is a need to devise and implement a definite immigration policy. The importance of this issue can be realized when we look into the problem like the influx of a Bangladeshi into the northeastern state, or for that matter the influx of Rohingya refugees from Myanmar into the Indian territory. Apart from this, there is always a concern regarding the movement of terrorist operator and member of organized crime racket in and out of Indian territory, which has the capacity of causing a serious damage to the internal security environment in a country. Therefore, there has to be a dedicated division within the MHA to monitor, control, and manage the situation on that account. Now, we will see the role of intelligence agencies. The role of intelligence agency is becoming more and more important in contemporary times, both in terms of management of internal security matter as well as external security matter. No discussion of internal security can be complete without touching upon the role and status of intelligence agencies. The Intelligence Bureau is a nodal agency which looks after internal security matter under a control and supervision of the MHA. Apart from this area, the MHA operates in some other area as well. Like center state relation, official language, etc. However, the aforesaid area of the internal security issue shall constitute the domain of our treatment in this chapter as of the well as following a chapter, which are created to cover a required of the syllabus on internal security. Thank you so much for listening this lecture on internal security. I have described everything in details, each and everything. First the introductory part, then categorize the subtopic, and lastly I have concluded uh, this all. So thank you so much for listening this lecture on internal security. Thank you.